Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me. Yeah, these are very interesting times, I think, for IT in general and wikis, especially, and Juggle, most of all Juggle, of course, which is my company in the Netherlands. Um, I've been on conferences for the MediaWiki, Semantic MediaWiki conference, MediaWiki conference already for some time, I think since 2012. And my focus has always been to use MediaWiki as a framework for business solutions. So my focus has always been to, um, yeah, to help companies because my I have many years in a large IT company, Capgemini, and I always felt that there was a large gap between um, custom-made solutions for large companies that had a lot of money to create whatever they want, and custom-made solutions for small companies that have the same desire for custom solutions, but don't have the money and have to do a lot for themselves. So that's really my area, smaller companies and allowing them to, uh, yeah, to grow and move on in these changing times. And Juggle is I think extremely flexible with data and functionality. It has always been AI centric, but AI centric is today not what it was 2 years ago. It has got, yeah. AI is an enormous factor for Juggle. And at the moment, I am the only real employee of Juggle, and I have a few people and companies that I work with. But and I don't want. I'm not afraid to work hard, but if something else or somebody else can do the work, even better. So let's have a look. So today we are going to have a look at a Juggle lifecycle. So let's say from setup to monitoring, what does it take to create a Juggle wiki, to have it up and running, and to have it usable for customers. And this life cycle shows four steps, I would say, and I'm going to show and demo you what how that works for Juggle. As you can see, the first step is about Canasta, among other things. So I'm very happy, and Cindy was very important for this, and we talked about this last week. So this is very fresh, but Juggle is really running on Canasta. I'm proud of that, and I like it very much. Um, and the demo that I'm going to give is running on Canasta, so you can see what, yeah, that works quite nice. Of course, we are going to have after the setup a set of Juggle extensions, and these extensions they have a lot of also content things in them. So um, I come from the OpenCSP way of looking at things, where you create class definitions, and there are a lot of settings, but I also work with schemas. So there are schemas all over the place to define forms, and yeah, everything that has a structure is defined by a schema. And skills. You can create your own AI skills in Juggle, but there are some, and quite some, system skills that play an important role in setting up and using Juggle. And they are system skills because they must be, um, yeah, they come with the software. So if you update, you get the newest version, and they are too important to and have to be improved step by step. So it's important to have them as system skills. And we have a lot of baseline usage, baseline pages, and we want to add in the setup to enable users. Well, let's have a look at how that works. Yeah, baseline import is the usual suspects: class definitions, properties, templates, the user interface pages and modules. And let's have a look at how that works. So this is after creating a wiki in Canasta. So all the extensions have been installed, and what we are doing now is get the baseline pages. So Juggle has a Juggle management page, and so the first thing you do is just get a bunch of pages in Juggle, and then we are able to move to the Juggle skin and have a look at what Juggle looks like on Canasta. So these are two important things. Baseline import creates a lot of things. We are going to have a look at that. And it enables the user, so it connects business functions to users. Business function is an interesting concept, I think, because it is, it's where everything happens for a specific, set of functionality of data. Works fine. That's something, of course, that you can create and envision and create, and it's nice to see that it works well. So we are right now we are in the Juggle management business function. So obviously, when you have an empty Juggle environment, your first what you still have to be able to do is create a Juggle environment. So that's also done with a business function, and that's the Juggle management business function. And the Juggle management business function has AI built in. So, and it's probably nice to see that add a wiki in Canasta, do the things that we saw just now, and immediately AI is available to help you for the next steps. So well, let's ask the fresh AI assistant about Mudcom, and it doesn't have an answer for that. And there's a very good reason why this AI assistant doesn't have an answer for that, because it needs to have a skill for everything. Well, let's go to the next slide. This is the text that you saw. So this is text from the AI assistant. I thought this was interesting because it means that the AI assistant itself understands understands. It's kind of a philosophical thing, but well, AI is, I think, a very philosophical thing, and there's a lot to discuss about AI in many aspects. But what is built in Juggle is that AI can do things only when it has an appropriate skill. And without a matching skill, a skill that matches the question, it doesn't do anything. And it's not allowed to. And that's a very important thing in Juggle. Okay. So what we have seen is that we have a running Juggle instance with all the extensions, with AI, with two business, really one business function up and running, the Juggle management business function. And we are good to go to the next step. And that is obviously to create new business functions, because you want to use your Juggle environment for running your company. So you need CRM or project management or whatever. So let's have a look at creation of business functions. And I think this is exciting stuff. So like I said, business function is really the unity of functionality and data. Well, let's have a look at from here, where we only have a Juggle management business function, what it takes to create a next business function. So that's obviously where we have to go. And if we go to the Juggle management homepage, then this skill becomes available. So here, I'm going to ask this AI assistant to change to English, but you will see that sometimes Dutch is popping up. So it started with, let's make a new business function, and it's loading the setup business function skill. What is very nice, I think, that the AI chat, the AI client in Juggle understands Juggle forms. So you will see forms all over the place, and they are exactly the same forms and the same components that you might have seen before in Juggle. The first job was a list job, and it is still there. You are going to see it. So that's what I like very much. So the client is all Juggle. So this is an interesting thing, I think. I don't know if anybody knows what OpenSpec is. If you don't, well, you surely should have a look at it. OpenSpec is an open source extension of Claude Code, and it helps you design a business function. You can look at that's my way of looking at it, and that works fine. But now we are not going to use an OpenSpec file. We are going to do it manually. So first you get a description. I want a simple CRM system added to my Juggle. Okay, let's go. And first it's you have the business function is centered around a namespace. So that was the first question. What is the namespace going to be? What is the name of the business function? And here we have an important first question: what are going to be the classes in this CRM business function? So this is also very nice. He always comes up with great ideas. If you don't like it, you can say, well, you did a good job, but I want something different. And then it comes up with different suggestions. But, well, this is okay. And here we see all new. This is all new. But if you are going to add a business function to an existing juggle where there are already some business functions, then the chances are very real that there are classes, relevant classes are already there. So you can also see a combination of new and existing, and that works very nice. So it's and the relationship between things, which is of course an important part. So it allows you to define that a contact is related to a company and all that kind of things. Here we have, this is also of course an interesting thing, because here it essentially asks you, okay, we have company class, we have a contact class, and what are the dupes, list dupe, element dupe, or other kind of dupes that you want to have on that page. And this is really typical juggle, of course, but it means that you get, if you have a these are the kind of dupes that you can select. But so here we have a list. So here you can add nodes in a list with each deal that you create in the juggle environment. Well, we'll just let it run. Here we have AI skills. So it's really at this moment, and obviously this is very much work in progress, but it really does great things. And what it does, so we are really specifying this business function, and this specification ends up in a workflow that has a lot of information in it. And now we are going to run that specification. Perhaps I'm a little bit fast here, but I don't know how I can go back. This workflow that you see in the background is is just a workflow page with a large JSON in it. It's a page with content model juggle JSON. Juggle JSON is a specific JSON content model that allows you to change things, to easily change things in the JSON. But there's a lot of information. It's very well specified, and as you can see here, there are a lot of steps, and well, obviously you will recognize the steps because we defined the business function earlier, but the steps are also very juggle or wiki are very understandable. You need to have a CRM space, so that must be created. This workflow is not able to do that, so you must do that manually. So it's a manual step, but it still checks it. Here we see a composite step. That's a step of similar activities. This is automated. Well, you will see what happens. A lot is going on now. So it just works. It just works its way through this workflow and does what must be done. You see some steps are locked. That means that it can only be executed. Oh, now we are going very rapidly all of a sudden. So it's not that fast real time. In the movie I put a fast forward there, so it's not going that fast. That can take some time. But here we have this step where you have to do something, and this is probably the creation of the person or the contact class. And obviously, we did in this with the specification, we said that there was a contact class, but we didn't specify the properties. So that's what we are doing here. And this is an interesting step because this is very interesting step because it's not automated, but it's delegated. So this execute workflow is an AI skill that does a lot of things. But we have specific skills also for creating class definitions. And delegated means that the work for this step is not done in the workflow skill itself, but it's delegated to a specialized skill, in this case, the class definition, create class definition skill. So this workflow is really very flexible. It's really nice. And yeah, here you can see what the result is. It has created a contact class definition. It has created a company class definition. And well, let's see what more it's going to do. This is interesting. I said to the workflow executor, or I said to the no, that was the workflow creator, that language would be English, and here you can see it's switching from English to Dutch. But I don't think that's going to be a very big problem for you. Okay, so these are the properties for the activity class. And it's going on with creating schemas. It creates, well, this, I'm sure there are people listening now that think this is interesting because this is the part of the OpenCSP setup, that a class that pages have subheaders and sidebars, and you put what happens in a subheader and sidebar for a specific class, you put that in a template, and so it creates specific templates for subheaders. And that is a mechanism, that is a way to put functionality or data or whatever on every contact or every organization or every what else did we have, deal page, which is obviously important. Okay, well, let's have a look. This is not correct. It did create the schemas and the skills, but the page names were not, so didn't match its expectations. So it did, as a matter of fact, everything everything went fine. And we are going to see that. So the whole workflow has been executed like it should, and we are now going to have a look at what has been done. So here we can create a company. We can, yeah, there's nothing yet there to link it to, but that's okay. So we have a company, and here you see two dupes, two external list dupes. I think the first is to show contacts, and the second is to show deals for the company. But obviously they are not there yet. So here we are going to create a contact. Yeah, and here you can see the company that we just created. What you are seeing is only I only did a fast forward, so no manual stuff has been done in between. So this is out of the box, out of the workflow, out of the business setup, business function, AI skill, so to speak. And here we have this famous notes dupe that we saw, and here we have AI, AI skills in the taskbar. So as you can see, the taskbar is fully CRM focused. It has been created, and it is attached to the CRM business function. And since we are on a page with CRM namespace, it shows the CRM taskbar. So it's as simple as that. And well, this AI assistant, or this AI skill for summarizing, I think this was the summarize deal, that doesn't work yet, and these AI skills, that would be a miracle, wouldn't it? If you can have AI skills that do exactly what you want. But it would be a miracle, but miracles like that do happen nowadays. So it's exciting times. But chances are, of course, that it's not going to be perfect the first time. Also, I think that good AI has some must meet some conditions, and one of them is that you must be able to roll back. So the workflow, we are looking at the workflow again. You can see that. So it's the same workflow that we have used to do all that stuff. And we are just executing the workflow again, and you can see, well, all the steps have been taken, but this is what I want to have a look. If you have a workflow that has done all its work, you can roll back the workflow. So that's what we are going to do now. Roll back, yes, roll back. Okay, so it has deleted 11 pages, reverted some revisions, and our CRM business function is gone. And I think it's very important to be able to clean up some AI generated mess that you have made. So these are also important things for when using AI. So we have this. This is obviously a very exciting step, and that's all about creating your system, and then of course you are going to use the system well. This is also very exciting, and the number of AI use cases is growing. So these are some things that we have experience with. Content creation, obviously, create proposals from Word to a survey definition. So if you want to have if you have have to create a survey for municipalities or organizations, then you typically create a Word document with all the questions and all the instructions about how the survey should work. And it would be very nice if you have, if you can, with one push of the button, can create a survey definition, and that the survey is online and can be tested. And that's what this AI skill does. I would say this is the great adventure, and I don't see any limits. Juggle helps you. Yeah, I think Juggle is an enormous tool. It's a splendid tool to to find out what is possible with AI, and it's very nice to work with. And this last thing also, I would advise you to have a look at monitoring, because you are doing, especially with AI everywhere, you still have to understand what is going on, and you have to be there very quickly if things go wrong, or if things are not working out the way that you want it. So we use Sentry, and what is very nice about Sentry is that you build it in the extensions, and you can very specifically define what kinds of issues are generated in Sentry, and what to do with them. So typically, if an issue is created, you send an email. So, and that's fine, because that means that if something goes wrong somewhere, you get an email and you can act on it. And especially, I think with AI, that's going to be even more important. So this was my presentation about the Juggle lifecycle in a nutshell, and I'm very happy to answer some questions.
Thank you. We're good. Thank you. That was great. Do we have any questions either in the room or online for Odd? No, we're good?
The whole thing with spaces, is that an alternative to semantic MediaWiki? Like, what's the back-end storage?
So Jeroen is asking about spaces and what the back-end storage is.
Well, yeah, whether it uses semantic MediaWiki.
Does it use semantic MediaWiki or something else?
I use semantic MediaWiki, and the spaces is with WS Spaces. So I'm using a lot of, or well, not a lot of, but let's say the very common extension. Semantic MediaWiki is very important, and obviously I use with Juggle the slots, and multiple slots on pages, and they can be of multiple content models. So we also have a Markdown content model, and as I showed, a specific Juggle JSON content model. But in the background, so there is, it's really a canasta out of the box with semantic MediaWiki. Yeah.
Great. Daniel?
You mentioned
Daniel's asking about, you mentioned Markdown
Yeah.
content model and whether it's using the Wikitech Markdown extension or whether you implemented your own.
Now the Markdown extension comes with the Juggle Pages extension. So Juggle Pages is all about what Juggle Pages are and what they look like and how they work. And there we implemented the Markdown content model.